high school baseball season gets underway on Tuesday night as Richmond will open up at home. They'll take on Hagerstown. We'll have that game for you right here on radiotroy.com, and it's an exciting time. We're finally seeing some nice weather, and Tyler Lairson, the head coach for the boys baseball team, you just informed me a minute ago you've been outside all but one time. How'd you guys pull that off with the bad weather we've had?
Well, one, we're blessed to have a great place to play, such as McBride Stadium. So that always helps. And two, the guys have persevered through some snowflakes and some cold weather, and kind of gone through the grind of the cold weather. It's good for them, makes us mentally tough. And, once you get outside, you just – it's different going back inside, and we can get a lot more accomplished out here.
Yeah, I know you and I talked in many of our road trips that you don't like being inside, then have to go back outside. You want to stay outside, right?
Right. It's nice to go inside to get some swings in and get some offensive things done inside. You can get some more reps. But as far as, the overall game, we need to be outside getting some defensive things done, cuts and bunt coverages and such. So we've been very blessed to have decent enough weather to be able to be outside.
We'll get an update on how things are going and what you expect. Last year, I know you were disappointed. You were happy, I think, with the progression of the team and the amount of wins and such, but I know you well enough now that second place doesn't go well with you. It didn't finish out the way you'd hoped.
Yeah, we feel like we let one slip away, and I tip my hat to Newcastle for coming back out and really just handing us our butts that game. So, but it's a hump that we don't talk about yet. We let it drive us. I think that guys are over that hump at this point. They know what they want. They know what it takes to compete and shut the door. And I think we have a group that's put in the work to get past that level. And ultimately their drive is to go on and play the Cathedrals and the Terre Haute North and the teams that are getting recognition and the rankings and all that. And their goal is not set just for sectionals and not even just for regionals. Those guys want to go on and see how far they can go. And I truly believe that this group is excited about season. They don't take losing lightly, and I think we have a winning group.
You've kind of instilled that in them, haven't you? I mean, bottom line is you have always won at your every level you've been at, and if it doesn't, you're out there to work harder to make sure it does next time. Have they kind of taken that attitude too?
They have, and they understand that not always can we you're not going to win every game in baseball. I know that. They know that. However, we can do enough things to put ourselves in a situation and compete hard enough to always be in a game to give ourselves a chance to win that game.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we're at. We want to compete hard and just give ourselves a chance, and especially with our forearms, give them a chance to win the ball game.
Yeah. Last year, was it a learning thing for you a little bit? I don't know if that might even be the correct way to ask that, but high school baseball is so much different than college baseball, and that's so much different than professional baseball, and you've been a part of all three. How different was it?
It is different, and you have to kind of slow things down and come in with the understanding and assume they know nothing.
Right.
And start from square one, and starting at square one, teaching things the right way and the things and how you want it done and how you want them to go about it, how you want them to practice and compete. So from that sense, it was a learning curve, and these guys are still young at the end of the day. They're still learning how to live life and live high school life and preparing them for college and so on and such forth. So there's a bit of a father figure that takes place with a lot of these guys. And for me, that was a learning curve, and understanding that they do get down, and it's hard for them to get back up without the guidance of a coach or someone older to pick them back up.
Sure.
So definitely a learning curve for me, and definitely I think a learning curve on their part, learning what I expected.
Yeah, learning curve, but you probably came out of it from a standpoint that, again, you're having to know that these are just kids, and yet you deal with collegiate athletes every year. Wasn't it pretty tough, though, sometimes?
It is hard, and the thing to keep in perspective is if we botch a play or something, happens, I know that in the game of baseball, physical things happen.
Yeah.
I see big leaguers in spring training not going hard, and they screw up PFPs and so on and such forth. So trying to balance between we should have done it better, we didn't, and not just, ripping their head off, but teaching so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where we're at. If it happens, let's fix it. Don't let it happen again. And that's how you become better, and that's how we're going to approach this season. Every day, every game is a chance for us to improve and get better as the season goes to be ready for tournament play.
We're going to split this up in a couple of different segments. Reason is I want to make sure that we certainly talk about this team as much individually as we can and break it down position by position in our next interview. But you know something else? You've grown this program now where this year you actually have a freshman schedule. Is that correct?
We do, and it's a work in progress. Right now they have 11 games, I believe. We're trying to get that up to 15. Our JV is sitting right around 18, 19 games right now. And you know, numbers aren't exactly where we want them. We'll have a lot of freshmen that'll come up and dress JV and get a chance to play JV. So those guys are going to get a lot of games in, as well as our varsity. So it's nice to have those numbers in the program and be able to teach those guys.
Yeah. All right, before we end this segment, let me do this, and we'll talk about your season in our next segment. How do you balance everything in your life? You have high school baseball. You have a very, very successful business in Hitters Hangout Academy, which just grows and grows and grows. And you're also thinking about the upcoming River Rat season. You're trying to balance a lot in a very small little time frame here, aren't you?
I go by one simple rule that a mentor of mine, John Cate, who gave me the opportunity to get into coaching, which got me started, always told me, surround yourself with great people.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to do, and have those mentors around me and people that can help me, and that kind of keeps everything in perspective for me.
But it does drive you nuts a little bit, doesn't it?
Sometimes.
All right. Next time out, we'll talk more specifically about this team, and one important aspect of high school baseball, like any other level of baseball, will be pitching. We'll do that next time out.